Welcome to our mentoring panel about the college application process. Today we have with us Harita.
Okay, so hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. Okay, so how did I make my college list? I think the first thing what I did was like, it's nothing big, it's what everyone does. It's like top colleges for so and so major, right? So I feel like that's where you just start. That's like your starting point. So that's how I started. But however, like I made sure to keep in mind all the factors, all my criterias when I was looking for it. I personally didn't want to apply to any Ivies or really top tier colleges for my undergrad. So I took in consideration like the diversity in college, the weather, the location. I took all of that. I gave those factors like a lot of importance. So yeah, that's how I went about making my college list. I narrowed down based on like the cities like I liked. I knew the cities first. I thought location was really important. And I also decided like what kind of campus I wanted to stay in. I personally didn't want to go to like a closed campus, something like TISB for people who've been there. So I wanted like a city campus, an open campus. So I think that's where it started narrowing down. I know there are a lot of universities with that. That's really vague for me to tell you guys, but after that I was just like, okay, so what city I want to go to. Like for instance, like I'm in Boston University right now, so I really like Boston. So because of that I started looking at universities in Boston in specific, because I know Boston is a college town and there are a lot of universities. So that's how I started my research. I also really like Canada. So when I started looking up colleges in Canada, at one point I had to compare, literally sit and compare, like, how are the career opportunities, the research opportunities, and all of that when I had to, essentially decide which country I wanted to go to. So, yeah, so I think it was really important that you keep in mind what factors are important to you and not to like your friends or whatever. Because, for example, like my other friend, she felt like she placed like 90% of the importance on like her subject and like what they did for the subject in the school. But like for me, I wanted like kind of like everything, so it's kind of like you really need to think about what you're looking for, because you're going to be there for like 4 years, right? So yeah, you need to be careful. So I looked up on location, the city I really like the culture in the city. Every, no matter what country it is in, every city will have a different culture on its own. So you got to decide on that. And then definitely how my subject was, my research opportunities, and how my internships would turn out. Although like I did not really like bother about the weather. Like Boston is really cold, but I didn't expect Boston to go down like so much during the winters. So it's not like I don't like it. Like thankfully I like the weather, but like I should have been more careful on that aspect, because we always think like, it's okay, weather, like we can adjust, but it's not so, because you need to be prepared. Because like, you never know when the snow is gonna hit, and if you don't have like something to protect you, like a really thick layer to protect you, like you're really gonna have a hard time. So I felt like that was something I was not very particular about while I was making my decisions. But I mean, it turned out for me that I ended up liking the weather and it kind of suited me. But yeah, I feel like you should consider the external factors like a lot, like, and also like commutation. I didn't expect Boston to have such a good public transport system, especially where BU is located. I never thought about it, but only after I went there, I was just like, oh, like, what if I didn't have this? So, like, just make sure, like, because being a uni student, I know so many people wouldn't want to spend on like cabs. They can be really expensive. So, just be like sure that you have like basic facilities like public transport, or like places to eat, like grocery stores and everything, like in a good like location nearby.
Yeah, definitely. I think those two are super important. Not stuff that you necessarily consider when you're researching, but
Yeah,
stuff that
exactly.
you should, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really stressing upon like external factors, right? When you asked me about what were my criterias, when definitely I was stressing on the external factors because like many people, we kind of like forget to do it. We think like it's kind of not important, but definitely what your subject has is really, really important. Like you can't go to like a music school and do like, I don't know, biology, right? So you need to be like really careful about like the opportunities your university offers for like your major, and you know you need to choose the best because like you're going to pursue it, so you might as well go to the like you know college that really supports your subject. So for my essay, I was researching about like you know how BU is supporting the psychology and biology department, and you know the research opportunities and your internship availabilities for especially students on F1 visa. Don't forget that you know US universities, they have a lot of like rules, especially for an F1 student. So you need to be careful about that. So for that particular essay, I really wanted to talk about Dr. Harlow. So I did like when I was looking up researches in like the psychology department, I found like a you know a research you know like with him, and those topics really really intrigued me, and I was like, oh my god, if I was there, I would definitely want to be a part of this. So it's like you don't go to like the main webpage and look for like you know just general stuff that anyone can write about. Go be specific, be really like let them know, let the people in the university know that you want to come to their university to do this subject because they are investing so much in this subject. So you have to let them know that. So I looked up a lot of ongoing research on the psych department, um, and biology, but I ended up writing about psych. So I looked up a lot on that and I wrote about it. But however, a person is not just academics. You definitely you need to show that you're interested in other things as well. So apart from that, I also wrote about clubs that I liked. I didn't generalize it. Do not generalize it because they're not looking for it. Because like a million of people can do that. So like if you're say interested in like I don't know like hiking or something, so that's something that I did. Like, so I looked up the outing club at BU and I looked up what they actually do and what their, you know, basic idea is. And then like, I kind of like picked that up and I was like, okay, so this club is into this, and that exactly like describes like the person I am, or like what I like to do. So you really need to be specific in your why essays because that's what they're expecting from you. So you really need to like go in and look at something that you like and how that connects with your university. So you kind of like bring that together in your why essays. So yes, I did end up doing ED2, that's early decision 2, and that happens in January. So I feel like it's really like if you know where exactly you want to go, it's like one of the best things to do because it's like you're letting the university know that like you know you really like want them to take you, you know, apart from like I'm not saying that you're not going to give that kind of feeling to them when you're doing like a regular application, not at all, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying when you do an early decision, they know that you're kind of like prioritizing them a little bit more than all your other universities. So I did that with BU. I did ED2. Um, Go ahead if you're really sure about everything and you're like 100% sure that this is it, I have everything figured out, then go for ED1. But I needed some time to decide. So I did early decision 2. And it was actually pretty good because I don't think it was difficult for me to choose a university for ED. I knew that I really wanted to go to Boston University if I got in. So I did an ED because I thought if I got in, I would get my results earlier, number one, and I'd know like where like it'll be something that I know for sure that I'm gonna have, and it'll also make my life easier, and also it's gonna make life easier for like my folks at home. So you know they can like know like okay, so this is where like you know my child is gonna go and all of that. So uh, that's and that way I think ED is really good because like you get your decisions by like end of February, and like you know you're all set for college. You can start like preparing in any way, like financially or like you know your tickets anyway. So that's going to be good. And also I feel like with ED it just made me feel like relieved much earlier than like people who did regular. I did regulars too, but like I just knew like my place was confirmed in this place, you know, and it was somewhere that I really wanted to go to. So I was happy with that.
Yeah.
But don't do ED thinking that if you do ED and you'll definitely get into college. I think that's a really like bad idea, because I know a lot of people like think that, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to do ED because my chances are going to be higher. uh, I don't think I would say that your chances are higher. It's just that they would look into your application because you're literally telling them that you really want to go to their college. You know, it's kind of like that. So like, even if it's a fact that you're going to have a higher chance of going in, which I am not sure of, don't keep that in mind, because like I don't think that's how you're supposed to go with college applications.
Definitely.
You should do EDEA only because you really like the university, it's your dream university, and if you want it.
Yeah.
It just makes your life easier, like if you get in once your result comes out. Like don't do it because like you feel like you're just going to have a better chance in getting in. Don't. Because I know a couple of people in my batch who did ED and then they got the result and they were like, oh no, like I don't want to go here, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's kind of like, don't do that. And then you'll be in, like you'll be under a lot of pressure because you wouldn't know what to tell the university, and like you wouldn't want to stay in a place for 4 years like that where you didn't want to go, right? So just be careful when you're doing an ED. Yeah, I did. It was actually really close to the deadline. I was thinking of, so I had two options in my mind before I did ED2. I wasn't really sure. And then I wasn't sure even to do early decision because I was not ready to take up the responsibility to be legally bound to a university. So that was a little pressure on me. But I felt like it took me time to make that decision for sure, although it was like towards the end, like I was only 100% sure like the just a minute before I was gonna like enter for my press enter for my to send my ED2. So like it really takes time. Like just be clear, like, you know, don't like force yourself, or like don't put yourself under pressure, because like I feel like I did that. I put myself under a lot of pressure because I was like, oh, like, you know, ED2, like I know I really want to go here, but like what about my other universities? So I feel like if I went back to the same stage right now, I would just tell myself like, it's okay, one is definitely going to be better than the other in one aspect or the other. You just got to go with what you like.
Yeah.
So don't like compare last minute and be like, this is a better I don't know, like some because someone else is telling you, you know, oh dude, why are you doing that, like you should do this. Like don't
Yeah.
put that in your head, because that's really bad. So just like, if you like something, good, like go for it. Oh my God, Common App, even if I look at it, even if I read my Common App essay now, I cannot believe like I put that together, because I feel like it was like very stressful for me, because I was always trying to like uh, write a really good essay that would get into my college, that would get me into my college. And I felt like that was the stupidest thing I've ever done. I feel like while writing your Common App, you should just write about like write, like when you're writing it, you should put in your head that, oh, so you're gonna like write about yourself. You're kind of telling someone like, when they read this essay, they're gonna know who you are. So I felt like I never put that in my head till the very last minute.
Mm.
I was always trying to write a good essay,
Yeah.
like so that I would get into a good college, you know? So I feel like you should always like remember to have like your personal touch, because literally people get to know who you are through that one essay you're gonna write, like your Common App. So I feel like don't stress over it, don't keep thinking about it, because I feel like when you keep thinking about it, you can never write properly. Like with me, it's like I try to write on like, so I, you know, I put together like things I like, you know, I was like, okay, do I write about basketball, do I put do I write about I don't know, like bio, or I had no idea what to do. And then suddenly like one night, like I just typed in about like my interest for photography, and then it turned out to be a really good essay. And like I felt like what I did with the essay was I kind of like made like how I view like my life with like photography And that kind of like really brought out who I was, like that really brought out my personality. I feel like if I read my essay now, like I would know the person behind the essay. So I feel like that's really important for people to know, especially when they're trying to like decide whether they're going to take you in or not. So like really be calm, like don't like stress yourself about Common App. Don't like, you know, keep thinking about it if it's going to happen. Like even if it's going to be the night before the deadline, you will end up getting a really good essay. I didn't believe that, but now that's happened to me. I'm telling you guys, it's like it will happen. Like I can really understand if you're going to go through, if you're going through a lot of pressure because you don't have your Common App essay in one piece, especially when you see people already sending out their first ED applications. That can be really stressful. Like, you know, it's like people have everything set, they're going to apply now, and then you're just here without a Common App. Like 100%, I get it. Just don't stress out. You will like get it. Like it's just that you always need to think about like you write it in terms of like uh, trying to show the other person like who you are. Like they're not going to see you right before taking you in. So you just got to tell them like what you are, what you really like. You just got to make that really creative. That's the only thing about Common App, I feel. I feel like when you're on the side where like you've gotten your results before a lot of your friends, especially if they're your friends who's gonna be like your close group of friends, like don't boast too much about it because I feel like it can make the other person feel inferior. Although like the other person shouldn't be feeling inferior because you guys are on completely different paths. You're just together like at that time, but your paths are really different, and you shouldn't be like comparing yourself to one another. But like it's like I don't think you should like, you should be really happy for yourself and like excited about it, but I don't think you should let it get to your head because that can like really like let you down in your finals, I feel. Because like, you know, in your IB boards, like I'm talking about, because you can just be like, oh, like I'm set, you know, like I've got into my university, I don't need to care anymore. No, that's when you need to care more because you don't want them to rescind their offer. So we need to be careful that way. And especially for ED, people don't forget to like, you know, like not like to like reject like the offer you're getting, because, you know, it's like you have to make space for other people, because if a university accepts you in your regular decision, they don't know that you've already gotten your ED university, right? Don't keep it because you know that you're not gonna have it. I know a lot of people who did that, and I think that is such a bad thing to do. Like if you're sure, like if you apply for university for ED, you should be applying only because you want to go there 100%. Don't keep your regular applications open till the last minute. Just, and don't forget it as well. Just like make sure you go to college counseling, you get your process done, and like, you know, turn down their offer and be like, oh no, like you're not interested or whatever you need to do. Make sure you do that. And I feel like if you're on the other end, which I was for like an entire semester, where you don't have any results coming and like you haven't even sent your application, or at least like a couple of your applications. Like, don't compare because like you're on a completely different path. It's like that person has worked before and like he or she has already sent the application and hence they're getting the result, right? But then if you haven't sent your application, how can you get the result? So always think about it and like don't compare, because I feel like that can just like hinder your friendship because you're going to be like, oh, like okay, they got in, and like I'm not going to say it's a direct connection, but like in one way that'll eventually end up happening. So I just feel like you should just, you know, be calm, relax, because you will definitely get into a university. There's no way that you're not going to get into a university unless you decide to take a gap year or not apply at all. So just be calm and you will get it. Like, so that's all I have to say, because that's what I did. It's like I know so many people who got into all the dream universities before me, and like I never let myself feel bad because I knew like my results were yet to come, you know. So always like hope for the best, and like don't put yourself under a lot of pressure. It can really impact like what you're doing in IB at that time, and it's really bad, especially if you're doing like the IB,
Yeah.
because it can really stress you out. I know it's really easy to say this, but like don't like lose hope when a college rejects you, even if it's even if it's a college that you really wanted to get into, you know. Even if you're doing an ED and then you don't get in, like it's okay. like just believe that the best is yet to come. Like I know I'm going to sound really like I don't know, like weird or like funny for people, for some people, but like it's actually true. Like I feel like when you tell yourself that you know you can like the best for you is yet to come. Like for example, say you apply to like say Cornell, okay, and then you don't get it, and that was your dream university. Don't think that's the end of the world or end of your life. It's not. You probably like the best choice for you or your major or whatever was like another university, you know, that you applied to. So you just gotta wait, be patient. Don't like let down like your other things. So just make sure like you like, it's okay to feel bad. You'll definitely feel bad. I'm not gonna say no to that, but just don't lose hope and like think that that's it. Like this is the end of everything. It's not. Just always have this in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have been any university. I don't know a specific university, but I think it would have been a university on the West Coast
Mhm.
because I did not like. I was just I was really particular about going to the East Coast. If you ask me why, I have no answer why. I really like Boston, so I was really focused on looking up like Boston, like universities in Boston. But I visited like my family in the West Coast, and like I really like the culture there. So I wish that I had universities from the West Coast as well. So I mean, yeah, it's like I don't regret it at all. Like I'm just like, okay, like next time, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was photography, 100%, because it was not just talking about photography, but like the way I molded my hobby, which was photography, with my personality and like how I look at life
Yeah.
and things around me. I think I feel like that would have made me stand out because it's just really different. Like, I mean, I've read my friends like Common App essays, and like mine was a little different from like the ones I saw, and I felt like that would have been something that was really important to me because I wanted them to know that this is why I really like this hobby and how the hobby is also like so it was kind of like interdependent kind of. So I felt like that was really important. Uh, I did ACT and like definitely it was really difficult. Like I had a hard time, you know, because I had to prepare for ACT. So my college decisions, it was like very last minute. I switched to the US the very last minute. So it was like I had to do everything like as soon as I could just to catch up and like submit my applications on deadline. So I feel like transition from sending applications to UK and then switching it to US, it's like double the amount of work that you've got to do. So I feel like that ways I was really under pressure because I had like that was the time when I had to submit all my I's and
Hmm.
E's and everything in school as well. It was really difficult for me. So I think if I had to tell you, just do it like in the summer, like just because you'll just be free and like relatively free. And like you just have like the space and the time to give yourself and do it. So please don't leave it for the last minute. Like that was a horrible experience for me. Like I don't know about any other tips about the test in particular, but like definitely do it and do it ahead.
Yeah.
Don't leave it for the last minute. And even your IELTS and TOEFL,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like sometimes like you just kind of like forget about it. And like even if they say like okay, you've gotten a 6 or 7 in your IB and like you don't need it, just do it. Because some universities, they're like when you go to apply for your visa, they're like no, you need it.
Hmm.
So don't leave it till like that last minute,
Yeah.
because you don't know if you're going to get the dates. So just like do it. Like English, I don't think it's going to be hard, especially if you're like a 6 or 7 IB, candidate. So just like do it well in advance and keep it ready. I wish I did time management better. Like I told you guys, like, no, I'm serious. Like my Common App essay was like a very last minute
Yeah.
thing and it turned out to be surprisingly decent. So I feel like I should have definitely managed my time better. But given my situation that I had to switch last minute, that way I felt like I kind of did it because I always like once the change happened, the switch happened to me. Like I made sure not to waste a single free lesson during school because like that was the amount of work I had on me. Because like I had to go like in the evening. I did not want to compensate on like my basketball practice. So I would always want to like get the work done, not to miss practice. I always kept that in my mind. I'm like, okay, if I don't get this done, I'm not going to basketball today. So that just kind of pushed me to get my things done, like
Yeah.
to match with the how much I was lagging behind. So yeah, but do manage your time well, make decisions correctly.
Yeah. I didn't use time management either, but
Yeah.
yeah. But I think it's comforting to know that you should use it. It's not the end of the world if you don't. Which is
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if you don't.
Yes.
Oh, and like use like make sure like you take help from whoever you want. Like even if it's like your friend, like your classmate, or like if it's going to be your senior you're really close to, or even like the college counseling department. Whoever it is, maybe someone, probably a teacher you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter if they're not your assigned college counselor, because at least when I was there, like some of the teachers in the college counseling department, they were like ready to help no matter whose like kid you were. I mean, I know people exactly opposite of that too, but like I'm sure you can tell who's like that. So just always reach out and take help, because with my college counselor, Miss Shraddha, like I literally like took the life out of her because it was like really last minute,
Yeah.
and she was really like helping as well. So I used to go there literally every free lesson and be like, okay, can you please help me with this? Like, okay, so is this good? Like, because like I was just really nervous because it was really like last minute. So okay, I'm going to talk about us. Like Shaila, like this whole platform, like Mentor Me. Make use of this. Make use of all of us. We're here for you.
True. We are.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We're all here for you. Just like DM us,
Yeah.
text us.
Yeah.
You have the social media of like, and follow the page. Like,
Yeah.
go for it. And like, it's actually a really great thing. I wish we had something like this when we were studying.
Same.
Yeah. So like, so definitely,
Yeah.
we're all ready to help you. And good luck with whoever is going to apply to college now.
Yes.
And stay safe.